Good morning, everyone. I'm going to make sure this is recorded. It's okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Phyllis Nash. I am your Chief Sales Officer here at Wakanna, one of the 4 co-founders. Really excited and happy to be here this morning. We had a phenomenal first Wakanna certification. Oh my God, attendance was through the roof. People didn't want to hang up. People called after it was over. I know people that were on the call, the leaders got real calls from their team, just excited about what the future looks like here at Wakanna. And so I'm going to get out of the way, bring up our CEO, our visionary, someone I've known now almost 18 years. And guess what? She made an impact on my life the very first day I met her because she fired her boss. Way back then, she knew that there was something greater that she needed to be a part of. She was honing her skills, tuning up for this very moment here. Guys, she went from the employee corporate America making 6 figures into social selling full time for what that time freedom that afforded her to take care and raise her only child. Sometimes the time that she would never, ever get back. And she went on to become MVP of 3 companies, building teams in over 46 countries. Then turns around and innovative, was helping and on consulting boards of lots of major companies, helping them to go to $1 billion status. In 2017, she did a reverse, came back to corporate America as the CEO of a cannabis company. And that was something brand new for her but one thing you know about Melissa, she always keeps her mind open. And then went into that company as CEO. We took it from $8,000 a month to $250,000 a month. And then in 2019, had the vision to start Wakanna. And now for 2020-23, we are Wakanna. And guess what? It's only the beginning. Melissa, are you out there?
Hey, Phyllis, I am out here, and good morning to you. Oh, my goodness, as I hear you give me this tremendous introduction, I just look around wondering, who are you bringing to the line? We really want to thank you for being who you are. I mean, literally, Phyllis has taken this company by storm. Not only is she our midwife, helping all of us to give birth to unlimited possibilities, our first diamond, our first double diamond, and just appreciate you for being who you are. And again, I remember when I first met you, Phyllis, at the time I had no clue you were actually on my team, but you had it going on. You were fabulous. You stood out in the crowd. And when I realized you were in our group, I said, wow, this lady is spectacular. We just knew you were going to go out and break records, and you did that. I just remember those first 90 days, you helping one of your distributors earn 100 grand, and you yourself did that same thing, within a 4-month period. I mean, it was just so electrifying. And so again, just thank you for continuing to be a trailblazer and a record producer here in the industry. And I want to just say good morning to everyone on the line. I want to thank you for waking up to Wakanna. Wakanna means in the hands of God. Our mission, we believe health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. By offering the most life-changing products and an innovative business, we empower people to elevate to their full potential. Our vision is to elevate the well-being of your body and soul. What an exciting weekend. What an exciting certification. I'm telling you what, it was jam-packed all weekend long. We kicked it off on Saturday at noon. For those of you who purchase our special edition luggage, you actually have the invitation to attend our Dr. Breakthrough boot camp, okay? And that was awesome. Then at 3 o'clock, we had our wellness certification for all of our coaches who are getting certified in the flat belly lifestyle and the bioscan and all the phenomenal things that come with that. And then to top it off on Sunday, yes, at 6 p.m. Central, our phenomenal all-star team, I'm telling you what, they brought it last night, guys. The very first Wakanna certification. I want to thank you, Sylvia Covington, Kathy Weathersby, Bo Tomlin, Yakima Palmer, Dr. Kimberly Smith-O'Tree, Dr. Betty Smith, Phyllis Nash, Christian Phillips, Jesus Soriano, okay? And thank you to all the attendees. In fact, when I look at the number at the height we reached 212. I said, that's a powerful symbol, guys, because that's the temperature it takes to bring water from just boiling to create steam. And do you know that when you create steam, you can power a locomotive? And as Kathy said last night, she says, hey, listen, the train is on the track and we are headed at full speed ahead. And yes, we are. And that steam last night was a big, big part of it, okay? Now, today, we're going to talk about planting seeds, okay? Because so many times we want the harvest, okay? But we really want to talk about what it takes for you to get momentum so that you ensure you position yourself, you position your team. Now, before I bring up a couple of special guests, they're going to leave some nuggets. In fact, this month, okay, for the remainder of the month, they're going to come on and share just a nugget of the week, okay? But I want to first get into the conversation about dreams. Have you ever had a dream where you sat back and wondered, what in the heck did that mean, okay? I had a dream on Friday, and it was kind of wild, right? You know, in this dream, I was talking to a lady, right? We're just sitting there talking. In fact, we were standing in grass. You know, this big tree was right beside us. But the next thing you know, I just took off running. And I was running fast, okay? And I jumped through the back window of a car. Can you believe that? I jumped through the window, and then I jumped out the other side. But then there was another car, and I did the same thing. Right? I jumped through the window on the first front end, right? And then I jumped out on the other side, guys. And you would have thought I was a track star. I mean, I was like effortlessly just flying through these windows. And I'm myself like, wow, you know, this flat belly lifestyle must really be working, okay? But then I started running up a series of steps. And as I was running up a series of steps, there was this skyscraper building. I'm like, big building, this big door. But before I could walk through the door, there was a young lady who was out of breath, okay, and she came and tapped me on the shoulder. She said, you just jumped through my car. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm just passing through. I'm getting to my destination. And we laughed and we hugged. But then all of a sudden, the same woman that was actually standing with me in the grass right by the tree, she says, hey, listen, you've got to watch this video. She says, I caught you on film jumping through those cars. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, this is just too cool. You know, usually stuff like that, when it happens, no one ever captures it. So you just got to tell the story. But I'm like, I got this on video. This is cool. And I sat there and I watched the video back with her, okay? And as I was watching the video, I realized in my mind, I was flying through like a track star, but in reality, when I was watching the video, guys, I was like, oh, it was a struggle. It was a struggle getting through that window. I'm like crawling. I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm all awkward, right? I'm like, ooh, I said, goodness gracious. I said, in my mind, it seemed just so much smoother, right? But the bottom line, guys, jumping through a window, it is rough, okay? But here's the funniest part, right? The funniest part is as I'm looking at this video of myself awkwardly trying to get through both of these windows, there's this crowd of people that were just running towards me. And I'm looking at them like, oh, my God. And I realized that was the girl whose car I was jumping through and her friends. I mean, they're running, trying to stop me and telling me, you know, what are you doing, right? Get out. I got to get out of the car. But here, all of a sudden, I'm watching this video. I saw a cop. I said, oh, my God, there's a cop. I said, where's this cop at? And in fact, as I'm saying that, this guy actually comes and talks to me, and he's a police. He says, listen, that's an unmarked police car, and you just jumped through my car. And somebody needs to unmute so you can help out. We got some background noise back there. Well, we got some background noise. We're going to pause for a second. So they did let you know what you forgot. Yeah. I don't know what that is, Philly. I don't know exactly because do we need to,
I'm looking, but I don't see anybody unmuted. I'm going through.
I wonder if it's like Uber or like, what do they call it? Like Zoom, right. Like a okay. But this cop guy starts walking towards me and asks me for my ID. He said, you just jumped through my police car. He said, it's an unmarked car, but that's my police car. And all of a sudden, I'm explaining to him, hey, listen, sir, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean anything by it. I'm just trying to get to my destination. But here's the funny part, guys. As I'm walking up the steps, he lets me go. I'm walking back up the steps, about to walk through the door. And it was amazing, right? It was so amazing. I'm walking back, up the steps. and this big old door was there. I walked through the building, but then I wake up, okay? So I'm like, oh my God. I said, here I am. I'm jumping through these cars. I'm now finally getting through this big door. The cop lets me go. He finally agrees I'm harmless. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, okay? And the dream, I woke up. I'm like, oh my God. And so then as I wake up, it seems so real, but I was just asking myself, what did this mean? Right? God, what does this mean? And what came to me is when God closes a door, he opens not just one window, but sometimes several windows, right? And sometimes we got to pass through all of these windows to find that big opportunity, to find that door that he's created for us. And as I thought about it, I jumped through one car, then I jumped through another car. And here's the crazy part of it, guys. That same day, I did a three-way call. I did a three-way call for someone, and the first two people represented the window because the first two people didn't really see the opportunity. One of them is majorly connected. He's a childhood friend of someone who, he was a childhood friend of someone I'm going to bring up, right? But he just didn't really see the opportunity. But he's majorly connected, a lot of great contacts. But then all of a sudden, he introduces us to somebody who's a commentator. I mean, this guy has been on major networks, guys, connected with every athlete. Had a chance to talk with him. He was excited, thought it was great information, but he was like, I'm just so burnt out of network marketing. I've done it for 40 years also, but really didn't see it for a business, but was real excited about the product. Okay, so again, another window, boom, right? But then all of a sudden, they were like, but we got to introduce you to this guy. You got to talk to this guy. And all of a sudden, they put me on the phone with this guy, guys. And the guy that they put me on the phone with, do you know that he had built a team of over 2 million people? So I thought about that dream and I said, okay, that's window number one. That's window number two. And now all of a sudden I'm in this dream. I'm walking to this big building, this skyscraper, this big door, and wondering what's inside. And I wake up right before I can explore what's inside. And all of a sudden I'm talking to this guy, again, who built a downline over 2 million people. In his last company, he personally sponsored 3,500 plus people. And here's the crazy part about it, guys. Again, a lot of times we get so caught up in who doesn't do the business, right? Instead of focusing on the people that want to do the business. But as we got to talking, it was kind of like in that first minute, right, where we kind of knew that God was in this conversation, right? It was a spiritual conversation. There was a spiritual connection. And one of the things that he resonated with, it was the comp plan. I didn't do the comp plan, of course, in this first introduction, but because he liked what he heard in the first few minutes, he said, tell me about your comp plan, right? He said this, can you believe this? This guy said, tell me about your comp plan. As I told him about the comp plan and the principles of how we built it, he said, oh my God. He said, this is definitely a God moment. He said, when I built that last company, he said, I worked so hard. He said, I put over 3,500 people in the system personally. He said, but guess what? He said, yes, I made millions of dollars. But what I realized, my team wasn't making money. He said he was like Moses. He said he had been in the industry for decades. He's traveled the world, but he's also sacrificed his health. So he was so excited about everything we had, the blood type testing, the bioscan, the 21-day cleanse. And he said, you know what? I've been waiting on this. He said, I told my wife, I want to find the right company. He said, I searched. He said, in fact, once we had a chance to then talk the next day, he said, you know what? He said, I've searched you guys. He said, and you are it. He said, I knew immediately when we talked, he says, this is what I'm supposed to do. He said, I knew it was a God moment. He said, that was minutes into the conference call. He said, I knew we were locked. But he says, but after I had a chance to research you guys, he said, I even saw the Sun Times. He said, I saw, what they said the average income was. He said, all of that got me more excited. He said, if you read the full article, like he did from end to end, he said, oh my God, he said, there's more positive than anything. He says, because what it proves is you're a company of substance. It proves that you're a company that has the wherewithal to go out there and do things the right way. If you make a mistake, you're willing to go out there and correct it. He said, and that's a company I can get behind. He said, that's a company I can bring my contacts to, my resources to. He says, and the fact that they wanted to point out that average income for 80% of the people was over $200. He says, oh my God. He said, that got me even more excited. He said, because in this industry, 80% of people make no money. He said, so the fact that you have something for the big builders, the middle builders, and the little guys that come in and really want this, and there's a comp plan that's fair, it's equitable. He said, I am all about supporting and putting my reputation behind a company like this. He says, I love what you guys are doing. And so the next thing you know, guys, we ended up booking a flight. So in fact, I ended up calling Phyllis, I called Jesus, Willie, and Kathy. I told the C-suite, I said, let's go to Virginia, guys. So guess what? We will be in Virginia this weekend with this gentleman. And what's exciting about it, guys, is he actually owns a retreat. And they normally use it for like vacation Bible study where they have hundreds of kids that come in. And so he said, listen, I want to invite you guys to the retreat. And what we're going to do there is we're going to do some masterminding. He said, because I am ready to go on the next run. He said, I've already talked to a company. He said, the company that I talked to, he said, they only mess with companies that do $20 million or more per year. He said their first 3 clients were Amazon, Google, and I believe Herbalife is the network marketing company they're working with. He said, but I told them, I want you to work with Wakanna. And he said, and they agreed. Okay, so what I'm telling you is he's opened up doors for us because he's someone with decades in the industry and understands that this is absolutely a company that's destined to do billions of dollars. In fact, he has a production studio. His son and him are both writers and composers. He said, is it okay? He said, if on my dime, Melissa, so this is on his own dime. He said, I want your logo. He said, I'm going to take your company. He said, I'm going to just do some stuff when you guys are there. He said, I own drones. So I'm going to take those drones. I'm going to record you guys as you're on the retreat. He said, I'm going to record some footage. He said, you guys can come back to the studio. We're going to get some video footage of you guys. He said, I want to help you bring the best branding and marketing this industry has ever seen. And I'm going to do it all on my dime. He said, we're going to get some video clips of you guys. We're going to get some studio time with you. He said, I am just super fired up about what I see. And then he said, hey, listen, that protein shake that you talked about, he said, how would you like it if I can get one of my professional athlete friends to be on the cover of it? He said, would that be something you would be interested in? And I was like, oh my goodness, guys. What I'm telling you is this company, as we've said it over and over, is destined for so much more than you could ever even imagine. And this is just the beginning, guys. When we first dreamed of Wakanna, when the word came to me last summer, we knew that we had to go out there and diversify. We had to create a multicultural company. And this is a phenomenal Caucasian guy who lives in Virginia. He is a pastor. In fact, he still pastors at his church, guys. And so it's just a God-sent story. We're super pumped up. And let's just talk about now how this gentleman came to be. So there's a gentleman that you keep hearing about, and his name is Stuki, okay? Stuki is relentless, okay? Stuki talks to everybody, okay? And what I love about him is he is someone who leads with his heart because he shares his story. And in fact, one time he left his phone on when he was in Uber, and I'm sitting here still on the phone, and I'm listening to him do his whole spiel. And I'm like, oh my God, just like he says it, that's what he does. And people always seem to respond positively. It's amazing when you lead with your heart. And so what I'm going to do right now, he's got so much industry experience. I remember when I first read his story about his early days of Amway, 7 years really making no money at all. But then he went on to become one of those individuals who would go out and break records, building teams of over 10,000 people, earning millions of dollars, and having a chance to be now a top producer across multiple companies. And he's just so humble. When I first met him, I said, wow, you're like, the silent assassin, right? I mean, you're just amazing, right? He says, yeah, he says, I that's my name, right? That's what they call me, because he is just someone who you would just never know that he's going to go out there and be the top producer, because he's so modest. He's so humble. He just does the work. So many people talk the talk, but he walks the walk. And so without any further ado, Steve, Stooky. I know you're out there, brother. You might have had to mute out. You're probably Ubering as you're doing this call. You might have been. Were you bringing the noise this morning?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. No, I haven't started Uber yet. I've got to. I'll start. I'll start a little later, and I'll go find some more people, and I I would love to be in Virginia this weekend, but I'm actually going back home to Florida because I've been up in Chicago since my brother passed away on March 27th. I've been in the area since March 29th, and then I've been sharing my story because April 5th when Jesus Soriano called me and said, "What are you doing tonight? Can you meet me at the Wakanna office in Chicago?" I'm like, okay. And then I'm driving there. He's like, "Hey, you know your blood type?" I said, "I don't know. I mean, it's red, but I don't know what type it is. I mean, and then he's like, "Well, hey, we got certified people here to test your blood and give you a bioscan." And I had no idea what a bioscan was. I had nothing. And I wasn't looking for anything. I'm fine. But I said, Jesus is my good buddy, and normally I sponsor him in my businesses, but you know what? I'll just come out there and check it out, see what's going on. And I was blown away. And, actually, when I got my blood tested, I almost passed out. I mean, Phyllis did my blood, and I'm like, I never had that done in my life. I'm like, if I had to do this every week, I couldn't do this. But, guys, this opportunity has just been a blessing. And I was telling Melissa, you know, how life works. And this is how life works. And it's based on the choices we make daily. And if we're planting good seeds daily and you continue to do it every single day and constantly, you don't give up good seeds. Because whatever we plant, we harvest, good or bad. God cannot lie. He wants to give us the desires of our hearts, but he wants us to trust him and have faith. And the definition of faith is believing in the word of God, acting upon it no matter how I feel, because God promised a good result. So, my brother's death, the tragedy of my brother passing away, and, I just was in shock about it, and then Jesus contacted me, about a week later and just asked me if I could do him a favor and come to the Wakanna office. And I said, sure. But guys, you got to continue to plant good seeds every single day. If a farmer and plant lots of them, tons of them, and keep doing it and don't stop. Because if you stop and say, well, it's not working, Steve, I'm going to just stop, and you give up on planting good seeds and you go back to your old ways, you're going to miss out on the blessing. God wants to bless you. He flat out does. He wants to open up the gates of heaven and bless your life bountifully, not sparingly, bountifully. It'd be like a farmer planting corn, and let's say just like the lazy farm, he planted 3 kernels, and then he's like, well, we'll just work on those 3 kernels. How big of a harvest would he have? He wouldn't have a huge harvest. But the diligent farmer, he's planting these seeds. He's making sure his crop is getting like if there's a drought, he's making sure it's getting water. The lazy farmer ain't doing that. The lazy farmer's like, oh, just leave it on the side. And over time, when it's harvest time, that lazy farmer is not going to have an awesome harvest. But the diligent farmer that's planting those good seeds daily and continue to do it and always there for his crop, he's expecting an awesome harvest. In life, if you're making poor choices and doing the wrong things and treating people bad, don't expect your life to be blessed. Don't expect it to go in the direction you want it to go. But if you're doing the right things, you're planting the good seeds, when nobody's around, because, when nobody's around, you could do whatever you want to do, but God sees everything you do. And if you're doing wrong things, God sees it. You're doing the right things, you continue to do it. You ever play peekaboo with your grandkids or your kids or whatever? They're like, peekaboo, peekaboo, and they laugh and stuff. Peekaboo, God's coming through. If you're planting those good seeds, and you got to continue to do it. And my life's been blessed tremendously, and God has led amazing people in my life. And I wish I was going to Virginia, but it's okay. I'll be in Florida, and I haven't been there in almost 2 months. But I'm very excited, and I look forward to upcoming just everything with Wakanna, everything that's coming. And I was telling Mooney last night, I said, I haven't even scratched the scratch of my contacts. I've got a lot of them. I've been networking 26 years, and I keep integrity, and I do the right thing, and I don't burn bridges. I just continue to do the right thing. God's coming through, and I'm fired up. I'm so excited, and I know, Melissa, you are excited, and the guy that you're meeting in Virginia, I'm just blown away with. Guys, you'll get to hear from him hopefully next Monday. He'll be on here, but you guys are gonna be blown away, and it just takes, it takes. I know Melissa told me not to share everything, but I'll share this. I said it just takes a few people who are on fire who got passion, just a few people, but that starts with you. You attract who you are. If you're on fire and you got passion, you're attracting those type of people. So, you got to have that passion, that burning desire, And I'm not going to share every nugget because I could share 60 nuggets. We'll just save that for another time. I'll have a nugget another time. But guys, just continue to plant those good seeds, and awesome harvest is coming. God cannot lie, and if you choose to sin, you choose to suffer. You choose that right choice, you choose blessing. That's your choice. God wants to bless you. Back to you, Melissa.
Wow, Stookie. Oh my goodness. I love it. You are amazing. And yeah, you'll be back next Monday too, because we're going to have Stookie's Nugget, right? Okay. As you're sitting here blazing a trail, they're going to want to hear what you're doing. And you have, like you said, dozens of nuggets. This is just one. And hopefully, Sex actually gave him a couple, which is great. Okay. And we appreciate that. And we actually have your sponsor on the line too. And so we're going to bring him up because I know he is on fire. He is flat out excited. He has built an extensive background in the direct sales industry, a critical contributor to several network marketing companies. His monthly sales volume has been in the millions, including leading and training tens of thousands of people over the last 35 years in more than 15 states, including Puerto Rico, and I'm on my way to Puerto Rico. He is poised and ready to lead and empower the Hispanic community, a $1 trillion market known as the Hispanic Gold Rush, in all cultures and ethnicities worldwide. Without any further ado, Jesus Soriano, are you out there, sir? And you can unmute yourself if you had to mute back. Just hit star twice. I know you're there, so hit star, Jesus.
Moshi, can you hear me?
Hey, Moshi.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, thank you so much. Good morning, Wakanna family. Moshi, en acción. Jesus Soriano from Chicago. How are you, everybody? Okay, can you hear
We're
me,
great.
Melissa?
We hear you loud and clear, yes. They're all muted, though, so yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, let me pull over because I am driving, drop off my son at work. And but I was listening to Stookie, and I was listening to you first, and I'm excited. I get pumped up because this is who we are. This is what we looking for. We're looking for respect. We're looking for transparency. We're looking for people that are speaking from the heart. I just listened to Melissa talking right now about the dream. Guys, it's that's where it's at. A man without a vision should perish. God is a God of dreams. We cannot stop dreaming. The minute you stop dreaming, you start drifting away. You have to have a dream. So I don't know what your dream is, but you need to go back and pick up that dream that you had once upon a time when you were that little girl, when you were that little boy, that little Stookie, that he wanted to be a superhero when he grew up and help thousands of people in the world. That little Melissa Boston, that I'm betting that she was a handful when she was a little girl. You got to go back and remember that dream and pick it up again and say, wait a minute. I almost believe the people. Oh my goodness. I was going there. I was looking for it, but I almost believed them. And I'm speaking, about myself. That's what happened to me. I was full of dreams, and then once upon a time, I ended up just stopping until, God gave me another chance. And I literally waited 10 years to engage with another company like this company because of the respect, the transparency, the heart. And, oh my God, I'm getting the chills, Elise. I'm getting the chills. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna I'm gonna piggyback on what Melissa said and what Stookie said. big chance to be part of this first generation. However, today is the 21st of the month. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. If you have pen and paper, write it down. Today is the 22nd. The 22nd. We have a couple of weeks to close the month. Okay, preparation is very important, and I'm sharing you what my mentors have shared with me before. Paul Orberson making $1.2 million a month. Dan Dixon making $300,000 a month, and so on and so on and so on. Until I met big shots, they were making, had companies that own, $1 billion
companies. So I only know 3 billionaires, by the way, in my life. But what I'm saying is this. If we take if you heard what Melissa Boston said, our super CEO, superwoman, and when she was wearing this jacket yesterday, this black jacket, leather jacket, when she put it on, boom, it looks like a cape. I'm like, oh my God, is she gonna fly? Okay. And Dr. Betty goes, oh, you haven't seen the white one. I said, what? She got a white one too? Okay. But then what I'm saying is this. If you listen to what she just said, where we're going, the people that we're meeting, that is exactly what happens in the first generation. However, the big companies, big corporations, they don't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, let's see what happens. Boop. No. We have to plan our future. We have to plan our day. We have to plan, like Stuki's saying, he gets up and he goes and talks to people. And you know what? In Stuki's case, sometimes he doesn't plan who he's going to talk to, but he does plans. He plans every single day to get up and talk to people. That's in his mind. He already planned that. So watch this. What I'm trying to say right now is there's goals. All right. So there's a personal goal. So write this down. Personal goal. Then we have what is called the group goal. You have to have goals in life, right? And then you have the company's goal, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So watch this. We need to be and we need to prepare, and maybe we can make a training about this, Melissa, and maybe the first 3 people that email you or whatever, we can break down their goals, because we should all be making a diamond run next month. I was talking to Mr. Mooney. He inspired me last night. Believe it or not, I was talking to him pretty late. He was like, guys, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta wake up early. It's okay, me too. But he actually inspired me last night. I said, what am I gonna talk about tomorrow? And then, it was a confirmation. What he told me and what I heard this morning, it was just confirmation that I got to speak about this. So watch this, and I'm gonna try to finish this fast, because I know this is a fast call. But watch this. Think about what you want to do in life, meaning in the business world right now with Wakanna. I know it's all about the health, and that's number one for me, and I want to share health. But right now, where we're going with the company, business-wise, you need to write down, where am I at right now? Am I a sapphire? Am I a ruby? No matter, did I just started with Wakanna? Is this my first week? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're just getting started. What matters is this. I want to be a diamond. Our mentality has to be, I want to be a diamond. We have to have diamond mentality. It's rough, ladies and gentlemen. It is rough out there. It is rough. But we're into the making. So we need to have that mentality of saying, I want to be a diamond in Wakanna. I wake up every morning and say, my name is Jesus Soriano Leon, and I am a diamond in Wakanna. My name is Jesus Soriano Leon, and I'm a diamond in Wakanna. That's the attitude we got to have. So prepare yourself. Talk to your upline, talk to your health coach, talk to the people that value this business. Ask them, what is our group goal? Watch this. Group goal is you and your group. Whoever you have. If you're a ruby, or you're a sapphire, or if you're a diamond, it doesn't matter. Who do you have in your group? And come out with everybody's personal goal, right? But you as a group put everything together. So now we have a group goal. So now we're having what is called teamwork. We're all working together as a group goal. However, that group goal would not work if you don't have your own personal goal. So if you have your own personal goal, and you're running for your personal goal, and everybody's running for their own personal goal, when we put it together, we all have a group goal. Boom! Watch this. But then we have a company goal. Oh my goodness. So this is something I might want to talk with Melissa,
Yes,
maybe Minister and somebody else. But as a
let me finish, and I'll call you right back.
Okay. As a company goal, if we know where the company's going, if we know where the owners Phyllis is amazing. Every time I see her, I say, oh my God, how does she do it? She looks like a model all the time I see her. My goodness. But if we know where Melissa, Phyllis, and the rest of the company, the internal leadership, if we know where the company is going as a goal, let's just say, and this is just, hypothetical speaking, but let's just say the company is going to triple. Let's say the company's goal is to be $30 million. Okay, perfect. Now, $30 million divided by whatever diamonds we have in the company and however sapphires or whatever. Let the company break that down. But what I'm saying is, if we know where the company is going, right, then we can say, okay, we want to participate as a team, right? Like I'm a minister with his team, even though we're all family. But this is not that. We got to break it like this together, being united, so that we can support the company to go to the goal as we have a group goal that we have to achieve. Now watch this. We break it down to personal goal, and now by doing what Stuki is doing, talking to everybody all the time, by doing what our CEO just said, by not forgetting about your dreams, by remembering that dream you had, you just get up every morning and you just speak it into existence. My name is so and so. Yes, aka Moshi Moshi, and I am a diamond in the company. If you do not make it to diamond in 90 days, if you do not make it to diamond in 6 months, it doesn't matter, but it does matter. What matters is for you to run, but shoot for the moon, even if you land among the stars. So even if you become a sapphire, awesome, hallelujah, praise the Lord. And then you go for ruby, and then you're gonna go for a diamond. But I'm gonna close with this again. It has to do with understanding your personal family goal, and then your personal group family goal, and I call it family because we're all a family in Wakanna, and then the company's personal family goal. So we break it into those 3 things, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to go places. I believe we're going to go places. I believe we're in the right company. I believe we got the right product again. I believe we're at the right time. I believe we have the right path to start focusing and driving and just having faith and preparation. So we're preparing, watch this, to finish this month. We're preparing to finish this month with our goals. However, next month, and I'm going to finish with this. Let's just say that your personal goal is to find 3 people this month. You know what? I'm just going to go find 3 people. By the end of the month, I'm going to sign them up with the smallest package. It doesn't matter. Should be the big one, but let's just say with the small one. So let's just say that you find 3 people this month, and you sign them up, and then we close the month. By the beginning of next month, now you have 3 people to run with. So if you sign up 3 people as soon as possible, and you do their grand openings right now, those 3 people go and find 3 people each. Now you have 9 to 10 people that you're going to run with next month. Think about it like this. 200 people were in the call last night. I'm just going to use the number 300 because I'm a warrior of God, right? So let's just say 300 people. Go and get 3 people each. 3 por 3, 9. We'll be at 1,000 people the following month. Extra, brand new blood coming into the business. And there's power in the blood, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave you with that. God bless you. Shalom, shalom. Moshi, moshi in action. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, see you later.
Hey, Moshi Moshi, thank you so much for that. That's amazing, guys. And you can email communication@Wakanna. That's our new Dr. Roz email. So communication@Wakanna.com with that goal. So yes, Moshi, we'll give you a personal session with Moshi Moshi, our new international Spanish ambassador, and he will help you along with the team to make sure we properly guide you in breaking down your goal. But with that said, guys, we are out of time. Unfortunately, this has been so powerful. Thank you, Moshi Moshi. Thank you, Stuki, for what you've done. And I'm going to just give you a couple of announcements, and we're closing the call out. I did want to let you know that we are going to allow those of you who are on this call right now to have a sneak preview at our sandbox, okay? Our sandbox is kind of holding our website until it's ready to go, which means there's still some things they're working on, but as leaders, I think you had a chance to see what it's supposed to look like yesterday. Today, it's closer to that, so they fixed some of the issues. They're still missing the testimonials and the before and after pictures, and some of the testimonials aren't right. But guess what? I'm going to give you a link, and this is going to be your link for the sandbox, okay? And that's going to be www.wakannaglobal.com. So you can check it out. That's a sandbox just for you only. Don't send that to your customers. The shop link is not yet configured. They're still fixing that, so don't freak out when you click on shop, okay? Because that one is coming together. We imagine probably by tomorrow morning that should look like it's supposed to. And once everything's running perfectly, we're going to then release it to Wakanna.com. So Wakanna.com, right now you can't go there because we're waiting on everything to be the way that it should be before we do that. But you as leaders, we want to definitely give you the insight to what this website is going to look like, and just let you know there's a lot of folks working on it, and it is coming together, guys. And I also wanted to make an announcement because I know some of you were preparing to travel for July. You can still prepare to travel. Our boot camp is on hold. In fact, we're going to be talking with our phenomenal gentleman this weekend about doing a boot camp possibly in Virginia. But in the meanwhile, Phyllis Nash and the phenomenal crew have put together an awesome event. She's going to give you more details on that probably tomorrow, but you want to make sure you mark your calendar because everyone needs to get there. It's going to be spectacular, and you don't want to miss your opportunity to be here for a one-night-only event. So it's not a weekend boot camp, guys, but it's a one-night-only event. That's great for guests, too, and it will be a ticketed event. I believe those tickets will be less than $8, somewhere right around there. And so with that being said, we do have a tour scheduled June the 3rd, Lafayette, Louisiana. That's going to be Christian Phillips, our Chief Operating Officer, and Phyllis Nash, our Chief Sales Officer. June 24th, we will be in Boston, Massachusetts, and it looks like we're going to have our Chief Sales Officer with you there in Boston, Massachusetts. And then again, July 15th, stay tuned for a very special announcement regarding the boot camp. Hey, guess what? It's off the table for July, and we're going to look at bringing that to another city in August, guys. And so with that being said, make sure you tune in to Rebound with Wakanna. We're going to hopefully get that changed to Wakanna, but you can rebound with Wakanna.com right now with Dr. Roz. Also, tonight, we want to make sure you join our 7:30 p.m. corporate Zoom. It's going to be fire, guys, so don't miss that call. And then 2:30 p.m. Central, saveourstrands.com. And, of course, tomorrow, wake up to our Diamond Factory at 8 a.m. Central. And so with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for waking up to Wakanna. We want you to have an Wakanna day. Yes.
Can you repeat that global information before you go?
Oh, sure, dear. Yes. WakannaGlobal.com is a sandbox, right? So you're just going to go to www.wakannaglobal.com, only for you only, just for distributors. Exactly. The shop function doesn't work, right? But just everything else you can at least see. And just know in a few days, it'll be perfection, okay?
Thank you.
But you can take a tour. No problem, dear. Thank you. Have a great, fantastic, and phenomenal day, everybody.